Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Mech Merlin build stream. Hopefully, everyone is doing great tonight. See a couple early joiners: Rawrence, Itharok, Mediocrity, Awul, Earthy, Comrade Questions. Thanks, guys, for joining in. What I'm rebuilding tonight is the Sangeo 65. This is an in-stock 65%. The price is a bit high, 395 bucks or 410 if you go with options. But yeah, so far, if you remember my first and second builds of this, I wasn't too excited about it, mainly because I chose Gateron KS3s. This is meant to be a clacky board, and I've noticed that boards that are meant to be clacky, but you put on some thocky switches, they tend to sound mediocre. So I'm hoping today will rectify that. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But yeah, just as a quick show of specs, this board has typing angle 7 degrees. It is the 6063 and metal, aluminum, and if you buy one like mine, it is an E-coated white. It's an additional 10 bucks. What else can I say about this? This is using a KBD67 Mark II RGB V3, but if you have a Sangeo 60, this is basically its 65% brother. Even the weight is the same. So if you remember my first build, I mentioned that if you actually had a Sangeo 60, you could buy a different colored weight for the Sangeo 65 and you could mix and match the two. Everybody taking off the keycaps, but here it is right here. Look at that. Huyn says, hi Merlin, hello to you as well. Yeah, I've taken it off. A couple people actually messaged me and said, Merlin, I actually really like how your Sangeo feels, or sounds. And I'm like, well, I don't. I'm gonna still try the Meteor Whites in them, see if I like it any better. So yeah, we'll see how tonight goes. Now, just so I can get a little bit more space and have a better angle of view for you guys, I'm just gonna pull this out right there. Because right now the Gateron KS3s are very, they're not very appealing to me, to be honest. It's always so tight. So just make sure, I'm pretty sure I've got all the screws out. It's just the gasket sticking on. Why is it not coming off? Looking real color of sharks, says Awul, but navy making me to think. Okay. There we go. Got it. Yeah, those gaskets are really sticky. I have to like pry them apart. And here we go. Let's go pull out these KS3s. Yeah, ever since KS9s came out, I've kind of lost my taste for KS3s. Helicopter's excited to see this. Me too. Like, normally I don't rebuild a board very often just because I'm like, it doesn't impress me the first time with switches that I like, then, you know, why bother, right? But the Sangeo 65 looks so good that I want to give it another chance. Because they are the same type of PCB, just different revisions. Now, here we go. These are SP Star Meteor Whites. I have lubed them with 205G0 already, so hopefully this works out. Hopefully this works out. Plus, you know, we are still at the beginning of 2022. I will be getting other customer boards, you know, other vendor boards. So I need to make room. I need to make room. Here, let's just let's turn on VIA. There we go. Test matrix. Perfect. Everything works. See, what stab did I use? These are, I believe, the OwlLab stabs, if I'm not mistaken. OwlLab stabs. All right. There, now it's more color matched, right? Now it's more color matched, so that's pretty cool. Is this an alu plate? Yes, it is. I don't know what keyboard I've got that's gonna fit well with it. Probably a board I don't really like. Let's leave it at that. All right. Rebuilt looks exactly the same as when I started off. Well, let's see. Will I like it? It's actually a pretty quiet build. That's very interesting. In terms of feel, I do like it better than before, but in terms of sound, I'm still not super excited about it. Here, let's do a quick typing test. You guys decide for yourself if you like the sound or not. I'm gonna turn off my music. I'm also gonna turn off Chris, so you guys are gonna hear how noisy this room is. Elm says can't hear it because we haven't gone to the typing sounds yet. But here, you guys get to hear how the room sounds. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Helicopter Floppy says it sounds better than I remember. Carrot Cake Black says that's not really a clack monster. Dark says fan of the PC is going off. How do you turn off the RGB on the Sangeo? You need to look at the key map and figure out where the RGB toggle is. Let's see. Wijaja says sounds quite muted. Not that great, but good. Yeah, it's definitely a more muted sounding board this time around. Still not the sound that I personally like, but it does feel better than my previous two builds. So it's like, getting there. Getting there, but still not quite there. Yeah, it does sound super quiet. Here, let me type as hard as I can so that I can make it clack. No high pitch. So no high pitched, maybe because of my switches. Luminous peak. So shows you it sounds better with clacky switches. Aqua Kings, maybe for that sweet ocean theme. You know, let's try how it sounds with a few tungsten switches. Let's see what it is. William Williams says, what are you drinking? You can figure out whatever I'm drinking by executing the build command, sorry, not the build command, the exclamation point drink command. But tonight I am drinking some Angry Orchard peach mango apple cider. Put one on the space bar as well, says Dr. Wells. Okay, let's put one on the space bar just to try it out, just to hear what it's like. Okay, so these are completely stock Owl Lab tungstens. Let's see how these go. We'll see how these go. Have I tried any other SP Stars? I've tried SP Star Amara, which are fairly thocky switches, to be honest. I did like them. Can't remember which board I put them in, though. Though I can always look on YouTube to see. There we go. That's the Owl Lab tungstens. That's pretty clacky. All right, let's see how it goes on these 6 guys. Just trying them out. Yeah, it really depends, right? It really depends on what switches that you put in. You know, some switches can change the feel of the board entirely, or the sound and feel of the board. Which is why whenever you guys are looking to buy a new keyboard, don't just listen to one sound test. Don't just listen to one opinion. You need to take in as many as you can. After all, like for a board like this, you are spending about $400 plus shipping and custom fees, right? It is to your advantage. It is to your advantage to hear as much information about it as you can. Kat, that board that's in that link right now is not here, because I put it on the side so I could get a little bit more room when building. But I'll pull it out again later. Now these are pretty tight fitting, actually. You know what? Let me just test it just on these switches alone. On these 2 switches. Wow, no, those are... Okay, I do like the clack, but this is what I did not like about my Mr. Suit. It was a little too much. Kat said, no, these are not the new Gateron oil switches. The Gateron oil switches are on the board that I was using, not the board that I'm building. If you want to know what I'm building, you need to execute the build command. But this is the board that I was using. These are the Oil Kings. Yeah, I think this is too much clack for me. But do I like it better than that? I like this feel better. Okay, so this sounds annoying to me. This, I just don't prefer the sound, right? So at this point, I would still prefer the SP Star Polaris Grays, because even though I don't prefer the sound, it doesn't annoy me like the OwlLab tungstens. Helicopter Fluffy says, I like the clack better than the KS3s. KS3s were just... I don't know, I just wasn't impressed with the KS3s on this board. But even compared with the KS3s, I think the OwlLab tungstens are still annoying. You know, maybe I could put in the plate foam, case foam, and that would probably lessen the clack that these guys have. That's another option. See, so many ways to build a board. I really don't want to give up on this board because it looks so nice. So I'm gonna try something else. Let's see. I have Tecsee Ice Candies. Let's do Ice Candies. Let's see how that changes things. I actually like how that spacebar sounds over the tungstens. Okay, so now I am curious about how the alpha keys will sound. Whew, yeah, these are definitely a tighter fit. I need to... Okay, hopefully I'm not like damaging the hot swap socket there. Good thing it's only 2 keys though. So once again, SP Star Polaris Grays. Tecsee Ice Candies. Okay, I like that. I like that. That is much better than the OwlLab ones. Okay, I'm rebuilding it. I am gonna use these guys. I'm using this. Yeah, that sounds much better. Okay, now I know. Well, there we go. Got it all built. All right, let's test this out again. Look at how bright that is. Let's see. All right, key tester mode, test matrix. Perfect. Excellent. Honestly, not that bad, guys. Especially once you put the keycaps on, then it's honestly not too visible. I believe Tecsee Ice Candies also have a longer stem, which is probably what's giving it that clack. All right, let's put on some keycaps. Yeah, like this board is pretty high on top, so I can't see what's immediately behind it. For example, here, let's take a switch. Yeah, I cannot see that from my angle of view. I need to go like this in order to see it. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let me just do some typings, and then we'll do a typing test. Yeah, I like that much better. Here, Let's go do a typing test. Let me turn off crisp. Turn off the sounds. Okay, this is what my room sounds like. The reason I do this is because, you know, so I can actually listen in to see how bad it is. All right, here goes. There we go. That's how it sounds like with Tecsee Ice Candies. My take on it is Tecsee Ice Candies are a little heavier than the previous switches that I used, so it's going to take a little while to get used to it. I do like how it feels. The sound is also much improved over the Gateron KS3. By improved, I mean I just like it. Not that it's necessarily better, but it's much improved over the KS3 and the SP Star Polaris Grays. So while it is better, I'm gonna say that the sound is still not to my liking. It's not like I'm completely wowed by it. It's a better sound, but yeah, still not 100% happy, which sucks, because the board looks great. Jira Fabaya says, so the Sangeo 65 is better than the Blade in terms of sound, but everything else will go to the Blade. Not necessarily. It's just, keep in mind, this is just the way that the board has been built. Completely different switches. Hard to say in that aspect. I can just tell you what I like. And what I like is not necessarily objective. It's the best Sangeo 65 I've built so far, though. Like, I am most satisfied with the sound. I'm just not 100% satisfied. Like it feels good. I like how it feels, but I like how it felt before as well. Here. Initial take after building the board 4 times is that I still love how this board looked. Like, this board is probably one of my nicest looking 65s. Like, I really like the shark weight over here. It's not the most aesthetic, but it's cool, you know? It's cool. It's quirky. It's quirky in a way. I love how the curves are. The struggle that I've been having between all of my streams of this board is trying to make it sound good. Many people have commented on my typing sounds, being like, wow, that sounds amazing, that sounds good. I personally don't like the sound. I did not like the KS3s. I did not like the Polaris Grays. And this one I like, but I'm not wowed by it. So it's not, I'm just okay with the sound. Let's say that. Hook says, do you generally prefer FR4 plates over brass for linears? I never prefer brass, and I do rotate between FR4, polycarb, aluminum, carbon fiber. I just don't like going for brass, mainly because I don't like stuff that is extremely stiff and extremely high-pitched. Final take on this board. I do like it. Okay, I do like it. I like how it feels. I finally like how it sounds, but the sound does not impress me, if you know what I mean. I finally got it to a point where I can appreciate the board. The previous builds, the one with KS3s and the ones with Polaris Grays, made me kind of iffy about using it. But now it's a decent board. I still prefer my LW67. Now that's a board that that's probably like the 65% that I'll compare all of my 65s to. At least until I get this. I have very high expectations of the Vega. I am actually expecting the Vegas, this Vega, to dethrone my love of the LW67. So hopefully this will live up to that expectation. This versus the Blade, which one I prefer to type on? Hard to say. Both boards now offer different things to me. Like before, the original build stream, the one you can watch on YouTube right now, I would definitely say the Blade 65. Right now, I'd say they're about equal. This one I will definitely hold up against the Blade 65. I still prefer the Blade 65 sound over this, but overall, they're very comparable. Let's just do a 50-word one. And someone earlier was complaining about the RGB. So let's turn off the RGB. There we go. There we go. Hook says, what? I think that sounds really good. More power to you. There's no requirement that we like the same things, right? Like if you like how it sounds, like I said earlier, there were a bunch of people who loved how the KS3s sound. There were some people in chat who liked how the SP Star Polaris Grays sounded. And now there's a couple people who really like how this sounds, but I don't like it. And that's okay if you don't agree with me, right? We all like different things. I guarantee that our taste in music is also different. Thanks guys for joining in. Just as a quick recap, tonight I rebuilt my Sangeo 65 to try and get it to an acceptable standard for me. So yeah, I think I succeeded. First build tonight wasn't very good with the SP Star Polaris Grays. Thought that was okay. Was a minimal improvement over the KS3s, but switching to Tecsee Ice Candies definitely made me like this board more. My recommendation to you if you're buying the Sangeo 65 is to jump on it quick, mainly because it is an in-stock buy, shipping from Korea. So if you haven't already, definitely check it out. If you're going to try and if you're going to be building this board for yourself, and you just happen to have the same preferences as me, go for a clackier switch, something like maybe a Tecsee Ice Candy with polycarb top and bottom and long pole stem. Thanks guys for joining in. My next stream will be this Saturday, in which I'll be building the Fallacy. This will be a customer build. So tune in 1:30 p.m. PDT if you're interested to see how that goes. Thanks guys for joining in. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye everyone.